Welcome back to another segment of Brian Reads the News. This is where I take a story I find online, I take it from my mouth to your ears, and let you know about what's going on in the world. Today we're revisiting a story I found online. Not a news story, but kind of a fun one. I've done 2 segments already. This is the 3rd installment. Let's take a look. Here it is. If you watch the channel, you've seen this image, the most devastating final words actors said to their co-stars. Like I said, we've done 2 segments already from this article and we're working on our 3rd one. Let's get into it. Today we're going to read about the final words of Chadwick Boseman. The final words of Chadwick Boseman to his co-stars. The article reads, one of the most recent heartbreaks to hit Hollywood was Chadwick Boseman's untimely death. Recognized for portraying Black Panther in MCU film franchise, Boseman was an award-winning actor who appeared on screens as far back as 2003. His death came as a surprise to most, as he never spoke about his illness publicly before dying in August of 2020 at the age of 43. Upon the actor's shocking death, his friends and co-stars were quick to fondly remember the Avengers star. Wow, just 43 years old. You guys remember how shocking that was when you first heard that? Man, I remember it. Let's get back into this. The article goes on to say, Josh Gad, who co-starred with Boseman in the 2017 legal drama Marshall, had a particularly special remembrance of his friend, noting that the late actor knew how precious every moment was. Gad tweeted one of his final text messages from Boseman, quote, I urge you to go outside and take a deep breath, reads the message. We should take advantage of every moment we can to enjoy the simplicity of God's creation. Boseman's final messages about living every moment felt especially heavy considering the secrets he withheld. I like that. I always like when they have such profound last words. What was it? I urge you to go outside and take a deep breath. We should take advantage of every moment we can to enjoy the simplicity of God's creation. Man, that guy was speaking the truth back then. Hopefully he's moved on to a better place and is doing well wherever he's at. Let's get into the next one. Up next are the final words of Natasha Richardson. Famed actress Natasha Richardson was the daughter of Emmy Award winner Vanessa Redgrave and a member of England's Redgrave family dynasty. Richardson made a name for herself in such films as Gothic and The Handmaid's Tale, before meeting the love of her life, Liam Neeson, during a Broadway production of Anna Christie in 1993. Their relationship quickly flourished, and they would go on to collaborate on further projects and welcome 2 children. Unfortunately, in 2009, the actress suffered an untimely fatal head injury during a skiing accident in Quebec, Canada. Yeah, I remember hearing about that accident in the news. I mean, it was such tragic news, and I know Liam Neeson took it really hard, and I remember seeing him in the news reacting to that death, her death. It was just such a sad moment. The article goes on to talk about it. It says, years later, during an episode of 60 Minutes, Neeson shared the harrowing final moments he spent with his wife. Quote, oh darling, I've taken a tumble in the snow. This was the last thing Richardson told him before being rushed to the hospital with significant blood clot. When Neeson arrived to be beside his wife, he realized the true extent of her injuries. Unfortunately, at this point, Richardson was no longer conscious and Neeson was forced to make a difficult decision. Quote, she and I had made a pact. If any of us got into a vegetative state, that we'd pull the plug, said Neeson. Meanwhile, his last words to his wife and former co-star were, quote, sweetie, you're not coming back from this. You've banged your head. I don't know if you can hear me, but that's gone down. This is what's gone down. Admittedly, that was a little bit of a clunky reading of that last quote, but I guess it says they made a pact, right? They made a pact that if they ever got into a tragic accident like that and were in a vegetative state, that they would pull the plug for each other, and then he had to uphold to that agreement, which, you know, a lot of couples, they discuss those things, and when you have to go and actually do it, it's a whole different story, I suppose, but that would be tragic, man. I couldn't even imagine having to do that. I think I'm gonna make this next one the final one of the story. Until next time, let's take a look at this one. Here it is, the cover photo for the story, the final words of Paul Walker. Instantly recognizable for his long-running role in the Fast and Furious franchise, Paul Walker was at the height of his career when he tragically died in November of 2013. An action star and stuntman, Walker performed in over 30 films and even turned down the role of Superman in 2003, per Superhero Hype. His death in a vehicular accident was a tragic, if ironic, conclusion to the actor, given his connection to the Fast films and the enthusiasm for performance vehicles. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of irony in some of these deaths. These actors, where life imitates art or art imitates life, however you want to put it. They ultimately meet their demise in a way that they portrayed on screen. It's a little bit eerie. The article goes on to say, the celebrated actor developed close bonds with his friends and castmates, specifically Fast and Furious co-star Vin Diesel. The pair were in the development of the 7th movie in their action franchise during their last interaction. Diesel had since shared the story of their final scene together and the last words the friends shared. Quote, "These action films can be very dangerous, no matter what anyone tells you," Diesel stated in an interview with Variety. Quote, "I started to think what would happen if Paul Walker if I died." Subsequently, Diesel recollects speaking with Walker about death while fretting his own fate. Reportedly, if it was Diesel who worried he would die young and told Walker to tell the world the kind of brother that he was. Quote, "I've played that over in my head countless times. That's the last time I ever saw him," he said. Yeah, I imagine you probably think about that a lot if you were in one of those franchises like Fast and Furious franchise where you're driving those sports cars, or even if the stuntmen are driving, you're in that dangerous situation, having to put yourself in that. You can take all those safety precautions, but you hear about the tragic stories that happen on set sometimes. The accidents, you're just split second away from something really horrible happening, and yeah, art imitates life. It happens that way sometimes, and ultimately, that was the end of his life. And I think Vin Diesel's done a great job of keeping his memory alive with those movies. I know Paul Walker was a big part of their success, and he's continued those on and turned it into an incredible franchise. I mean, it's still going after all these years. So that's a testament to the hard work Paul Walker and Vin Diesel put into that project. Yeah, well, that's an end to today's segment of Brian Reads the News. We got 3 more in. If you guys want to see some more of these, the final words of these famous actors and actresses, and what they tell their co-workers before they move on, let me know. Let me know what you think of this 3, and if you want to, you can check out the other 2. Thanks again for watching. If you have a second, hit that subscription button, ring that notification bell, and come back for more. You're always welcome. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.